going to do one more here. Instead of solo, we'll just go with the greatest pop rock bands of all time, and we'll see what I have to say about that. This is IMDb. Well, why don't we just go with the top 40 pop artists all time? That'd be better. Top 40 pop artists. Then maybe we'll do rock after that. It's going to be extended video. Oh, they're going backwards here. What is this? The top 40, and they're starting with 40. Okay, Everly Brothers, yeah, gotta love them. Fabulous, great duo. One of the great all-time. Barry Manilow, never cared for that schmaltzy son of a, he's just weasel. Sam Cooke, one of the greatest, got shot, unfortunately. Got too mixed up with booze and women, gambling, whatever it was. Pet Shop Boys, I do love the Pet Shop Boys. I saw them live in Denver years ago. They're a really good band, but they stole a lot from Sparks Brothers, the Sparks band, Sparks. Beyonce, I never really cared for Beyonce too much, to be honest. Simon and Garfunkel, of course, I grew up with them. Bookends, one of my favorite albums of theirs. I love those guys. Paul Simon, great writer. Art Garfunkel was good too. Dusty Springfield, lovely, wonderful singer, great soul, white soul singer. Carpenters, I didn't like them in their early days that much. I thought they were too tame pop, but actually she had a beautiful voice. She died of anorexia, of course, and they were a really great band, great singers, really, for pop band. Really, really great. Do like them. Donna Summer, I saw the Donna Summer show in Denver a couple years ago. Not real Donna Summer. It was a Broadway review, but it was great. And I love the original Donna Summer. Really loved her. Really great singer. Great woman. Robbie Williams, no, don't care for him. Don't even know much about him. He's kind of a nothing to me. Fleetwood Mac, now I like the early original Fleetwood Mac. Peter Green, Danny Kirwan, Jeremy Spencer, and of course Mick and Fleetwood Mac and the original guys. But, the later incarnations with Buckingham Nicks was great. I love Sly and the Family Stone. Love them. Sly got all messed up on drugs and cocaine, but they were a great band at Woodstock and Summer of Soul movies, both of them. Eagles, overrated band, but they did have a lot of classic good songs, so I never saw them live, but, a lot of people love them. David Bowie's one of my favorites. One of my very, very top favorites. They rank him at 27. I would have put him a lot higher, for sure. Very big David Bowie fan. Queen, I liked a lot of Queen songs, but I was never the biggest Queen fan. I didn't even like that Bohemian Rhapsody movie that much. I thought it was lame. Jay-Z, he's okay. I've liked some of his. I like that thing he did with, what's her name, the New York song. Jay-Z's actually got some cool songs, but I'm not a big rap fan. Love Marvin Gaye. Love soul Marvin Gaye. Also got shot by his father, cocaine user, but man, Marvin Gaye, he had the voice. He had style. He was great. Duran Duran was okay. They were too high there. They shouldn't be ranked that high. Duran Duran's all right. They had some good songs, but U2, very overrated band, but, I'll give them their due. They did have a few decent songs in their day. Best in their early years. Rod Stewart, I saw him live in Nashville back in the late 70s. He's great. I like his early stuff. Maggie May is one of my favorite songs of his, and Every Picture Tells a Story. Those early songs are my favorite. Aretha Franklin, of course, I saw the Aretha movie just last year. She's fabulous, fabulous soul singer, queen of soul. Love Aretha. Love all her stuff pretty much. Whitney Houston, overrated. I never liked her. Can't stand that I Love You and that song that she goes on and on. Bruce Springsteen, I saw him live in Nashville in the mid-'70s. He was great, great show, but I'm not a super big Springsteen fan, honestly. Billy Joel, I saw him live at Gamage Auditorium in Phoenix in the early 80s. He was great, great, great show, great singer. Every song he did live sounded just like the album, but better, 10 times better. It was just perfect, perfect show. He's a great entertainer. He's underrated. He should probably be even a little higher than 17. Billy Joel is really underrated. Prince also, he should be higher. Prince is one of the all-time greats. What are you kidding me? Genius Prince. Miss him. He died too early. He might have been murdered too. Love the Bee Gees. Just saw a documentary on them. Boy, I learned a lot more about them than I ever knew. They were some of the greatest songwriters, and they were around over 30-something years before Maurice died, and then later, or I guess it was Maurice died, and then Robin died, and then Barry's still going, the oldest one. They're a great band. Great pop rock band. I love them. Even with their disco stuff. They were some great songs. ABBA, totally overrated. Put them way low on the list. I don't like ABBA. They're just plastic. Love the Beach Boys. They should be much higher. They should be like number 2 or 3. One of the greatest pop bands of all time. Brian Wilson, a genius. Come on. Pet Sounds is one of the greatest albums ever. I also love Surf's Up. It's one of my favorites of theirs. And Smiley Smile, the reworked Smile album that Brian Wilson did. Britney Spears, forget it. I don't like her at all. Janet Jackson, like I said before, she's pretty good. She has some good songs in the 80s, I guess. Mariah Carey, I can't stand her. She's overrated. Stevie Wonder, a genius. Love Stevie Wonder. All his early stuff, Superstition, Intervisions, Songs in the Key of Life. I mean, Stevie Wonder's one of my favorites. Even this thing he did with Paul McCartney was good. Michael Jackson, I'll give him his due. Michael Jackson was the king of pop, I guess, if they want to call him that. The Rolling Stones, I love the Stones. Who didn't? I mean, I grew up with them in the 60s. Come on. I saw them live in 82 at Tempe, Sun Devil Stadium. Great show, great show. It was filmed by Hal Ashby. It was a movie, Let's Spend the Night Together or something like that. But Barbra Streisand, oh, got to admit, I was never a big Barbra Streisand fan, but I do like her. She's got a beautiful voice. She's okay. I like her all right. She's got some great songs. Frank Sinatra, a perennial favorite. Of course, everybody likes Frank Sinatra, right? But I don't play him all the time or anything. But when I do play him, I always enjoy him. He's Madonna. I like some of Madonna's stuff over the years quite a bit. I was a big fan for a lot of years, but kind of burned out on her. You know, she's Elton John. He's really, really great. I loved his early stuff, mostly in the 70s. He was king of the 70s pop. Terrific. And then Elvis Presley, of course. I'm not a super big Elvis fan. I mean, I was like young when he came out with Hound Dog, but you know, we saw a lot of his movies as kids. They're pretty bad movies. And then the Beatles, of course. There's no doubt this is the one accurate on the list. The Beatles are the greatest band of all time that there ever was in pop music, that there ever will be. There is so much written about the Beatles, so much recorded video stuff. I just watched the Get Back 6.5-hour documentary on Disney that Peter Jackson directed. The Beatles are all time the greatest music pop band there ever was, there ever will be. And no matter what you think today, young people, you might dismiss them, but I'll guarantee you there will never, ever be an act of quality as good as the Beatles. And that's my final word on the music tonight. Here's another one ranked by fans, the 30 best rock bands. There's still some rock music out there, ranked by the fans. Let's see what they are. What do they say? Never heard of these guys. Shinedown. Shinedown? Never heard of them. Foo Fighters, I love them. Okay, are you kidding? They're a good band. They're one of the good American bands. Who else do we got here? Got a bunch of ads. AC/DC, they're still around. I never cared for them. Green Day, they're all right. American Idiot's good. They got a few good songs. Rammstein, yeah, for hard rock, heavy metal type stuff, they're decent, I guess. They put on a good show. A lot of fire. Deftones, I think I've heard of them. The Offspring, I don't care for them. I've heard them. Five Finger Death Punch, corny name. Evanescence, I don't like them too much. Ozzy Osbourne, well, I like the old Black Sabbath in the early days, but I can't say I've ever followed his career that much, to be honest. Stone Temple Pilots, they're never as good as, some people thought. I don't think they were that great. They're okay, I guess. Scorpions, same thing. Screaming metal. Deep Purple, now I saw them live in Germany, 1974. I'd still like Deep Purple, I guess. I don't play them very often anymore. Weezer, I never was that crazy about them. Had a few of their albums, just throwaway stuff. Bad Wolves, never heard of them. Killers, Killers aren't too bad. I have liked a few of their songs, I guess, but I'm not big on them or anything. Biffy Clyro, nope, never heard of them. Mariah, no. The Struts, nope, never heard of them. Who we got here? Oh, Al Stewart. I love Al Stewart. He's an oldie. Black Sabbath, of course, I said I like them. Achtung Baby, I don't know. Living, Loving Maid. Oh, that's a song. Okay, that's Led Zeppelin. Paradise Lost, I never heard of them. Elephant Tree, never heard. Duel, never heard of Duel. What else we got here? Andrew Neil, nope. This Winter Machine, nope, never heard of these. Disasteroid, nope. It's a funny name. Well, the Psychedelic Furs, now that's an old band from the 80s. New Wave 80s. Code Orange, I'm surprised they're still around. Code Orange, never heard. Saudade, never heard. Saudade. Slift, is that what it is? So, rock band, those are rock bands? Now there's a good band for you. Nirvana, it was until, look, they edited out the little baby penis. Is that ridiculous? That is absurd. That is so stupid, politically correct. I can't believe it. That's just dumb. Okay, that's it for the rock band. Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun's a good song. Great song. They're not too bad. Feel bad that Chris Cornell, he died. Too bad. I think he was right. I had a harder time with bands, but finally I think I got 20 bands of 2020. Let's not singers, but bands I want. Let's see if any of these register with me, if I think they're any good, or if I've heard of them. Dirty Honey, never heard of them. Are they pop, or what are they? They're talking about Guns N' Roses. That sounds more like rock or something. John ×2, never heard of them. Yola, never heard of her. She doesn't sound like a band. Glorious Sons, never heard of them. Larkin Poe, never heard of them. Underground Thieves, never heard of them. Fallen State, never heard of them. Never heard of any Joyce Wolf, nope. I'm just going to say no. The Who, no. That's not, The Who. It's a takeoff on The Who. It's an Asian band. Nope. Crownlands, nope. Those Damn Crows, nope. They look weird. Quaker City Nighthawks, nope. Briston Maroney, nope. That's not a band, that's a guy. Nolan Potter's Nightmare Band. I like the name of that, but no, I never heard of them. Nothing by them. Amel and the Sniffers. That's a good name too. Corny. Dinosaur Pile Up. Oh, these are clever, but no, never. Bishop Gunn. These are all like totally unknowns to me. Sleep Token. You guys let me know if you like any of these, if you think they're good. I have no idea. Church of the Cosmic Skull. That's also a great name. I might have to check that band out just based on their name. Fantastic Negrito. So names are good. I just don't know if they're any good as a band. That's all we got there on the band. Bands. Instead of just the famous people list, which that could be anything, we'll go with the 50 best pop singers ranked by fans. Oh, now we're getting Ariana Grande. I don't like her. Dua Lipa. Same ones. We're getting to the same ones here. These aren't bands. Getting the list of male. I don't know how many they'll give us, but let's check out the best male pop singers of 2020. Since that was the last the women said 2020, we'll stick with that one. Harry Styles. Nope. He's worthless to me. Never heard of him. Niall Horan. Never heard of him. Never heard of this guy, Louis Tomlinson. Liam Payne. Never heard of him. I'm sure I wouldn't like him. Ed Sheeran, I think he's got a good voice. I've heard a couple of his songs. I guess he's okay. I don't hate him or anything. I don't hate any of these guys because I don't like their music, I'm sure. Shawn Mendes, I'm sure I wouldn't like his style of singing because this is The Weeknd. I've heard a little bit of The Weeknd. I guess he's all right. He's not awful. Got some talent. Never heard of Louis Capaldi. Never heard of Post Malone. These are nobodies to me. Alec Benjamin. I like his last name. That's the same as mine. My middle name. Sam Smith. I guess he's got an okay voice, but I'm not crazy about his style of singing. Love. Oh, what kind of name is that? I love. John Legend. I do like John Legend. He was really good in La La Land. That's mostly where I know him from the La La Land. He's really good in that movie. He's got a good voice. Khalid. Never heard of him. I'm not saying they're bad or no, Justin Bieber. He's worthless. He's pathetic. I have heard some of his crap. Troye Sivan, never heard of him. Frank Ocean, I think Frank Ocean's all right. I've heard a couple of his songs in the past. Again, last 5 years, I've had no contact with pop music, really modern pop music. I have a lot of other better quality music that I play. Is that all they got? That's all they got for the males. Okay, the males was a short list. Most of them worthless, except for John Legend. Go see La La Land. That's his best performance. He's really good in La La Land. That's one of the best movies you'll ever see. I used to pride myself on being on top of pop music and all that, but I haven't for the last 5 years. I've just tuned it out pretty much. I listen to oldies and ambient music. I'm going to check out the top female 2020 singers ranked and let you know what I think of them. Ariana Grande, I've heard of her. I never heard any song by her. I mean, I think I might have heard a song by her somewhere. I don't know any songs by her. Nothing that's impressed me. Same with Selena Gomez. I've heard of her. Taylor Swift. I tried to listen to a few of her songs way back, and nothing in her repertoire ever appealed to me. I think she's just air music or something. Nothing to it. Never heard of Camila Cabello. Never heard of Dua Lipa, if I'm pronouncing these right. Never heard of Billie Eilish. Rihanna. I used to like some of her songs. She actually does have some good songs. I haven't heard anything in the last 5 years. Halsey, I never heard of her. She didn't look too great. Beyonce Knowles, never really cared for Beyonce too much. Vanessa Hudgens, I never heard of her. What do we got here? Lady Gaga, I have liked some of her music in the past. She's great in that movie, the Gucci movie. She's really good. I didn't see the other one, the Star is Born thing. Demi Lovato, I think I've heard of her, but I've never heard any of her music. Meghan Trainor, I've heard of her, but never heard any of her music. Miley Cyrus, I know Miley Cyrus. I've seen a few videos, but never heard any of her music either. Katy Perry, I have heard a few good songs and seen a few videos by her, but not in a bunch of years now. Pink, I have heard a few of her songs back in the day, years ago. They were okay. Selena, I thought we did a Selena already. There's 2 Selenas. I never heard of that one either. Lizzo, I never heard of her. Christina Aguilera, I've heard of her, and I don't really care for her style of singing, even though she does have a good voice, I guess. Janet Jackson's had some good music over the years, back in the 80s, but nothing I've heard over the last 10 or 15 years. So that's it. That's the female singers. I really never heard too many of them. Oh, Victoria Justice, never heard of her. Lana Del Rey, I do like some of Lana Del Rey stuff. She's not bad. She's not my favorite, but I like Bjork a lot better. Normani Hamilton, never heard of her. Haley Steinfeld, never heard of her. Sia Furlan, never heard of her. Alicia Keys, I've heard of her, and she actually is a good singer, a good pianist. I do think she's very talented. I do like her, but I haven't bought a lot of her music. I have a few of her albums. Keisha, I've heard of her. I'm not crazy about her though. She's more hip hop or rap or something. Paris Hilton, I have no interest in her. Mary J. Blige, I guess she's all right, but I'm not into hip hop either. So, Ally Brooke, never heard of her. Is there any more? Lauren just something. I don't never heard of her. Maya, never heard of her. Latoya, never heard of her. Farrah, I never heard of her. She never heard of her. I've never heard of any of these women. I'll lie. I've heard of her, I think, if that's the one I'm thinking of, but I've never heard her music. Never heard, I think I've heard that name a while back, but never heard her music. Never heard of her. Just not interested in the music of these people because I know it's not my kind of music. Sigrid Moldestad, even though I say I never heard of them, I can guarantee you I wouldn't like their music. Kay Michelle, no. Give me the oldies. Lil' Kim, no, no thanks. Lindsay Lohan, nope, forget it. Willa Ford, Jessica Simpson, nope. These are just, they're like worthless to me. This is the kind of pop culture today that I think is just pathetic. Sorry, that's my take on the women. Let's go to the... Now, as a bonus, I'm going to list 71 more acts. They're solo artists, bands. They could be pop. They can be a little bit of different genres than pop, but they did pop music a fair amount in addition to a little bit of rock and other stuff. So I'm going to just reel these off, mostly in alphabetical order, not exactly, but here they go. Air, Beck, Bjork, Dylan. He's not exactly pop, but he did some folk stuff, and I'm going to put him in that category. He wasn't listed in any of the great artists. Cat Stevens, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Crowded House, Daft Punk, Depeche Mode, Donovan, Enya, The Four Seasons, Giorgio Moroder, The Go-Go's, Glenn Campbell, Grace Jones, Harry Nilsson, Harry Chapin, INXS, J.J. Cale, Jackson Brown, Janelle Monáe, Jim Croce, Johnny Rivers, Jose Feliciano, Kate Bush, Kraftwerk, Kylie Minogue, Les Paul and Mary Ford, they're oldies. Linda Ronstadt, come on, Linda. Loggins and Messina, Gordon Lightfoot, Love, Mamas and the Papas, Moody Blues, The Monkees. They had some good songs. Morrissey, My Morning Jacket, Todd Rundgren, Sparks, New Order, Nick Drake, Of Montreal, Pat Benatar, Wings and Paul McCartney, very pop. Phoenix, Poco, The Police, Robin Hitchcock, Rufus Wainwright, Sinead O'Connor, Smithereens, Steely Dan, Stereolab, Steve Winwood, Sufjan Stevens, Supertramp, Suzanne Vega, T-Rex, big one, Tears for Fears, also a good one, The Smiths, they're all good, Tortoise, Toto, Van Morrison, come on, Warren Zevon, XTC, Yellow, these are great bands, Yo La Tengo, Yesayer, and The Zombies. That's like 70 plus terrific pop acts that did pop music that weren't even mentioned on that other list. So there you go, folks. That's my list and the lists that are popular today. What do you think? Let me know. I'm curious.